everyone, I'm Ian, and welcome to Performances.
I'm Tiffany Cox. Well, set with the task of finding someone to perform, the broadcasting and film students of fall 2006 headed out with cameras and high hopes. We searched Toronto high and low, from the east side to the west side, and we got one awesome show tonight. From belly dancing to rock meets country and karate, let's check out some performances.
Up first, we have two bands that take a different approach to performing. Here's Andrew Ross with Running with Kittens and Sep Narosi with Automatic.
Hey there, I'm here at the Cameron House where I'll be talking to the guys from Run with the Kittens. Have you ever wondered what Public Enemy meets Pete Seeger at a methadone clinic with Roy Orbison handing out the meds looks like? Well, I'm going to show you. Check it out. Where does your sound come from?
Like, from our instruments, but primarily from our hearts, and then that translates out of our hands to our instruments, and then into people's ears, and that's where the sound comes from.
And it fills our hearts with joy.
And it fills your hearts with joy.
You guys don't sound like anything I've ever heard, so what are your influences?
The influences? I don't know. I get off on a lot of new country and smooth jazz and stuff like that. I derive great inspiration from anything on 103.5, which is the local techno station.
That's awesome.
So mixing all those together and shaking it up, yeah. We're trying to start a bunch of new subgenres too, like loungecore.
How did you enjoy the show tonight?
I thought it was pretty good, better than I expected, that's for sure.
When you perform on stage, are you guys trying to make everybody laugh, or you just like ad-lib it and just do whatever?
I would say most of it. Most of the comedy I think that happens is, well, we have writers. We have a team of writers. But, but you know, sometimes we don't stick to the script. Sometimes I'll throw in my own joke. Or like, you know, pull my finger. You know what I mean?
All
Something
the creepy
like that.
jokes are his.
Yeah.
And I write all the rest.
Yeah. Jake does majority of the writing for the group.
Woo-wee! That was quite a show. So if you're in the area on a Tuesday night and got nothing to do, why don't you drop by the Cameron House on 408 Queen Street West, and you won't regret it.
Hey, I'm Sep. I'm here at the El Macombo in Toronto checking out the original Bad Boys of Rock and Roll, Automatic. So let's go inside and see what all the buzz is about. Sitting here right now with the original Dirtbags of Rock and Roll, straight from the underground TO. I have Automatic here. How you guys doing? All right. Tell me a little bit about this show that you have going on tonight.
We did it for a charity event. It's actually for a hospital, and Saving Charity is the charity. It's for a hospital in the Dominican Republic, mostly focused on young pregnant women.
This show tonight was about the good people of Toronto. It was for a good cause. That's all I remember.
So recently you guys got a new drummer.
That's me.
Yeah, that would be Ziggy here. What's it like to play for Automatic, or like generally get into a new band in general?
Well, it's definitely fun to play with Automatic because, as I say, I can play as loud as I want, and I, never have to worry about not being able to put on a show, stuff like that. Getting into a new band is always fun. I mean, there's always new stuff to learn. It always keeps you on your toes.
Foozer, I noticed when you're on stage, you do some crazy shit, man. And Like, is this all just off the fly?
Think about it. I mean, you got 30 minutes to go on. You gotta feel it, right? So everything that I do on stage is because I really feel like that in real life. When you go on stage and you got nothing to lose, you just play.
So, Cracker, you said before that all the songwriting is collective. Everyone's working on the songwriting, so what's like a typical jam situation for you guys?
About 4 cases of beer, a bottle of Jack Daniels, a nosebleed, and 1 black eye.
All right, one more question. I have a question for Jesse now. You're obviously the guy on the front of the stage. You're belting out the vocals. What's it like to be representing the band on the stage, you know?
It's absolutely fantastic. I love these guys. They're the best.
Standing outside the Elma Combo now. I've been partying all night with Automatic, and I got Juan with me here. He's a fan of Automatic. He came to the show tonight. So, Juan, the partying all night, the rock show, what do you think of the Automatic experience?
Well, other than being extremely exhausted, it was a good show.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Automatic. I'm Sepp, once again at the Elma Combo in Toronto. See you next time.
Tiffany, what are you doing? We're live.
Oh. Sorry about that. I guess we got the same writers as Running with the Kittens.
Yeah, that was some crazy
weird.
stuff. I'm totally checking that out.
Okay, well, there's tons more to get through. Up next, we got something to pump up the mood a little bit. Here's Johan Chang with Virtue and Vice and Chris Anderson with Lady Lola.
From diverse musical backgrounds, they came together to create a fresh, new sound. Their one goal? To put on the best damn show they can. They are Virtue and Vice. I'm here with the band Virtue and Vice, and could you just introduce yourselves and tell me your position in the band?
My name is Jamie Goodfrein, and I'm one of the guitar players.
What's happening? I'm John Jacobson. I'm the lead singer.
Miles Spirit, bass man.
Alessandro Zito, drummer.
I read on your MySpace page that you guys are kind of unhappy with the state of the music industry. So what do you feel that you bring that's innovative and different to the music scene?
We just play kick-ass live shows, like, to be honest with you, and, you know, a lot of that's lacking these days, and the quality, people come up to us and say, man, like, they're totally blown away by what we bring to a live performance with energy and, like, good songwriting, and I think that's just really lacking.
I think that we tend to focus much more on the music and less on stuff like, you know, out there doing shameless MySpace promotion when you don't even have music to back it up, and we want to bring integrity into our everything we do in music.
Gary? At the Virtue and Vice show at Supermarket. So Gary, tell me, what did you think about the show?
I really liked it. I thought they put on a great performance, and I really enjoy seeing them.
Virtue and Vice will continue to push their musical abilities, crossing genres and making sure people have a good time. This is Johan Chang from Kensington Market, signing off.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Chris Anderson, and you know, you tuned into another weekly edition of Performances. Now fellas, we got something real hot for you today. We got a young, beautiful female rap artist from the West End of Toronto. She go by the name of Lady Lola, and fellas, don't slip. She get real raw on the microphone. And we caught up with her at her most recent show performing live at the Import Fest at Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. So let's go, let's check it out.
Wait a minute, there's something I want to show you. Remember who told you who's taking the game over? It's rolling, I ain't jabbing shit. That be sick cause I rip shit. When I spit dick bricks, when it hits dick shit cause I'm sick. I'm here to let you know that it's all good. I want to hit you niggas, but y'all hood. You can call it what you want. It's rap and the fact is that you rap so rap tagging that, yeah. None of you niggas can knock me. And if you think you can do this thing, come and try to pop me. I'm on the hottest ones, on the block now. And that's why I can't be stopped now. For how you feel, cause the real always keeps it real. I'm cute and sexy, but show I got that thug appeal. Cause you don't face me shady, I'm born in the 80s, amazing. This boy, you know I'm touching crazy. Yeah, come on. Don't let y'all be singing. When you see me. Yeah, come on. Get loud with it. When you see me.
I just finished performing at the Import Fest and it was live. It was all love. It was such a big show, big everything. It was just a lot of love. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope I'll be here next year to do the show again. When you're performing, everything matters, from what you're wearing to making sure your voice to the people around. Just performing is a lot more difficult than actually recording in the studio. But I find that when I'm in the studio, I usually lay down a verse on one take. So it's pretty much performing live. I've been singing all my life, actually. In elementary school, I remember we were the Supremes. I remember also we used to do talent shows in front of the whole school, and we won like in grade 6. I mean, I've been doing music all my life. I started getting professional with it at about 15 and a half. I started getting shows, meeting record labels, and dealing with a lot of people, and just getting out there. My album's finished. I'm looking at working with the producer from Aftermath by the name of Focus. So hopefully things really start to work out for me in the industry. Still young, still got a long road, but I'm sure everything's gonna work out just fine.
Alright, so that's it for performances. Join us next week when we profile a new artist from Montreal. His name is Swift Kid. I was Chris Anderson, and we'll see you next week.
That was hot.
It sure was, but let's keep on with the show. Ian.
Wow. Sorry about that. Okay, well, it's time to change the pace up a bit. One sounds like Metallica, another so smooth you could fall asleep. It's time for Ian Schweier with...
Hey, that's you. How's that even possible?
The Miracles of Technology and Tiffany Cox with Drew Bound.
But wait a second, that's me. Hey, this is Tiffany Cox here at the Revival Nightclub in downtown Toronto. Come in and let's check out Drew Brown.
My name is Drew Brown. Hope you guys are having a good time. Joining me on stage is my good friend Josh McIntosh. And we're just going to play some songs for you.
Drew, you recently just played here tonight, just about an hour ago. How did that go for you in your mind?
It was great. I'm used to playing with like a full band. So coming in with its acoustic guitar, it was kind of different. But it was just good to be a little more intimate and a little more honest and raw.
What did you think specifically about that set?
I really liked him. It was nice to hear acoustic style. I guess usually he plays with a band, so it's nice to hear something acoustic for a change.
Tell us a little bit about your experience in performing.
Wow. I spent most of my years playing in cover bands, which is great for money, but sucks for the artistic side of things. And so after I stopped doing that, I just try to write songs. I try to write songs that I would love to hear myself first, and then I would play it for other people, and if they thought it sucked, then I'll go back and change it
Where do you find the inspiration for your songs, and how do they really come to be, what they are?
Most of it's just from, life itself. You sort of just think about painful moments, or think about just moments you experience day to day, and you sort of draw from that. A lot of it's just from listening to other people's stories. I actually seek out other people's stories. I would go to a coffee shop and say, "Hey, what's your story?" And people will say, "Oh, well, I'll tell you." And this is a great way of sort of hearing good stuff, bad stuff, just hearing some really cool and real stories about real people.
Musically, what do you think he has that a lot of artists out there don't?
Actually, he has a very super smooth voice. It's an awesome voice. He hits the pitch every time. It sounds great.
Music and just have a good time, just enjoy it. Just hopefully they can be touched by the music. Hopefully they can be enlightened or inspired by it. That's what I really want.
Thanks so much for joining in on our spotlight on Toronto performer Drew Brown. This is Tiffany Cox. Thanks for stopping by.
Alright, so we're here with Steal the Days, a new band coming up. How did you guys all form Steal the Days?
Well, generally we were actually all in different bands, and I actually met up with an old guitarist I actually used to play with, and we hooked up, we wanted to play, and apparently I was on a 3-month trial with him, and we had a drummer with him at the time, and they called Dino and to play with us, and then Dino heard what was going on, and he actually started to like it, and he actually stayed in the band, and then all of a sudden we actually kicked out the other guitar player because it was his attitude. He was actually going a little insane. It was just the three of us, just myself, Dino, and the old drummer. And then due to certain circumstances, that drummer is not playing with us anymore. Fire, yeah. Well, apparently we were fired. We tried to fire him, and then he turned around and said, "You guys aren't firing me, firing you guys." So
drama.
So then we had Orlando come in at that time too, at the same time. And then we got Orlando made a few phone calls, and he got Erwin here, and he joined the band, and it's almost a year now.
How would you describe the type of music you guys play?
It's different. There's a lot. We do get a lot of comparisons to a lot of bands, but I still think we are pretty distinct in our own way.
Some thoughts of the audience on the band performance we just saw. What did you think of Steal the Days?
Oh, they're pretty good. They resemble Metallica a lot. Big fan of Metallica. Big fan of this band. I'd love to see them again.
What type of message you guys trying to say with your music? Is there anything particularly?
It's more like what I try to portray through my lyrics is more like life lessons. You know, we all go through certain things, and the lyrics that I write are more general. They're not. You can't pinpoint them to one thing. They're generally through things that I've had actually happen to me in the past, and then a lot of experience that I think a lot of people can relate to, and they can take it into their own interpretation for it.
All right, there you have it. Steal the Days. Well, thank you very much for doing the interview.
That was really weird. I still don't get that whole 2 places 1 time thing.
Tiffany, it's really time to move on.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Up next, we got some ladies who really know the meaning of
Shake what your mama gave you.
And I really wanted to say that line.
Here's Savali Sika and Kareem Muhammad with Belly Dancing.
Hi, this is Kareem Muhammad reporting live from Blue Note Nightclub.
all type of dancing, Indian, reggae, hip hop, Spanish, you name it, I do it. But my main focus is like Indian dancing because I've done that for a very long time. Walking up on the stage right before I perform, I feel like I just want to run back off because all the tension's on me. Well, it's always on me when I'm performing, but like it's a weird feeling. You get this like rush in your stomach that really scares you. But once I get into it and I start performing, I feel like there's nothing that can stop me, and I really want to do this. That is probably one of the best feelings in the world because it shows me that my good work is paid off. Like I actually did something and people are enjoying it. So, you know, my crowd likes it, and that, you know, it actually motivates me to keep on doing what I'm doing because, you know, their emotions and their expressions just makes me feel like I'm up there, you know?
Well, speaking about the performance tonight from the ever so popular The Hot Shots dancer Terry, I must say she is exceptionally great, and I promote her only because she is the best. You know, I've seen a lot of talent into her, and I would promote her now and forever because she's always a good entertainer. She has the crowd going like crazy, and people always scream for her and want to come and see her, so it's enough to promote her.
I think I'm going to be dancing as long as I can. I can because dancing has always been in me, and I love to dance. Like, that's my main passion. It's my talent, and it's natural.
Well, we're here again at Blue Note Nightclub. This is Kareem Mohammed, and that was an exciting performance by Terry Mohammed. She does events, parties, weddings, whatever you want. Her phone number is 416-268-1735. Thank you and have a good night.
Tonight, you know, my hips don't lie, starting to feel it. Let's get real slow, baby. This is
Hey,
perfection.
Tip. We're back. Well, that may have went over the top. Here's some performances to put us back on the straight and narrow.
Let's take a look at Dina Goldberg with Key Witness and Elisa Federici with John Adams.
Hi, I'm Dina Goldberg, and I'm here at Horseshoe Tavern to check out a 5-piece band that trades in many currencies. Mixing modern rock, country, and ever so slight traces of goth, Key Witness is a band of contradictions. Song to song, minute to minute. Let's go check out Key Witness.
I can taste the fall in the air. Beat my brains with the confidence air. Pick me up and try not to
So let's start by, how did you guys form this band? How did you guys get started?
I put out an ad in Now. Me and Jem used to jam in high school, and then at some point I just figured we'd start a band and put out some ads in papers and stuff. And then Shin answered. And,
You answered?
Yes.
What was intriguing about the ad?
What?
What made you want to answer that ad?
I want Joey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
He's looking for an excuse to stay in the country. He's from Japan.
Yeah, I'm from Japan.
So what I want to know is, how would you guys describe your music style? How are you different from other bands?
By not being able to answer. We'll play birthday parties and bar mitzvahs. And we cater to any type of music, really.
we've been criticized for our versatility. I think we play a lot of country songs, a lot of rock songs, pop songs, fiddle songs.
Grand stage presence, and this is our first time at the Horseshoe and seeing the band live, and we think it's absolutely amazing. Doesn't compare to the album whatsoever. You have to check them out live.
For Key Witness, versatility is the key. And with an occasional violin and harmonica thrown into the mix, Key Witness can play to a wide range of styles and do so with a high degree of skill and proficiency. I'm Dina Goldberg. Thanks for watching.
I'm Lise Federici, and I'm here live at the Revival Lounge, and we're about to step inside to take a look at John Adams. Let's go see how he does. So I'm here with
John Arnott. I think he's using some different sounds, but still using them in a good pop structure, but they're a bit more unique, and they don't sound like everything that's on the radio, but still familiar. I think he's very good. He's got a good future.
Playing live music is the best, especially when you're playing music that you really enjoy. We all love playing John's music when you're up on stage. It's better than any drug possible. You get an adrenaline rush. It's almost like, for me, it's almost like I'm bipolar. It's like I have my personality on stage and then I have my personality off stage.
Well, I've known Luke for 22 years, because he's my brother. Joel, I know for a long time because he, I don't know, drummed in other bands. I thought he was really great, and as soon as he was available, we started, I guess, talking about jamming together.
He actually got me fired from my last band so I could play with him.
I started Malicious Rumors. Anyway, yeah, no, when I started this project, Joel was actually the first guy on board and very obvious pick. So, and Dave Tonelli, I never met before starting to do this.
Tonight.
Yeah, or tonight. Before this project started, actually, like he's just he's a friend, longtime friend of Joel's, and he's been outstanding. I don't know. We're gonna release this record and spend a year making it, like literally a year, 50 hours a week, and I don't know, now we're just kind of starting to show people what it's all about, and getting the live thing together has been an amazing experience because it was a studio experience making it, and I loved that process too, but this is a whole other amazing process, and so I get really excited hearing the other band members bring the songs to life, and I guess we're doing that for the public slowly. And
a really nice sound overall. I was impressed with the writing, like the sound, especially the guitars.
Yep.
Enjoyable show.
Would you buy a CD?
Nice venue. Yes. Yes.
You should do that then. So that wraps it up for me, Elisa, here at the Revival. It was an awesome set, and thanks for watching. See you next time.
Well, we've got a few more for you tonight, but these ones are a little bit off from the rest. Here's Kate Broskipe with Phil and Clay Holmes with Karate Man.
I don't know exactly when I started. I know as a kid it's something that I think it had to do with the environment.
Phil Dabrowski is a 25-year-old actor, comedian, and a student at Second City. He is following in the footsteps of Canadian comedians Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner, and Eugene Levy. What motivated you to join Second City?
Well, I suppose when I was a kid, like I guess younger than 7, I think, I used to like dress up in my mom's underwear and stuff and go around the house, and my dad actually, well, he was initially kind of freaked out and pissed off about it, I suppose, as would most fathers be in a situation like that. And he said, that stuff you can only do on stage. So that's when I started looking for venues with which to, prance around in my mom's underwear and stuff like that. But then I started,
you know, getting into other things like comedy and stuff. And I noticed that they had stages for those as well. But it was really this inherent desire to perform, stemming from transsexual tendencies at a young age.
I want us to go out and date women. I want us to go out together.
Don't you remember the shovel code that we both swore to?
I do remember the
No women, no dating, no fun. Shovels for life.
There's only one thing I can do.
In the next 5 years, what do you plan on doing with your acting career?
I've done a lot of work in the past year and a half towards, I've done a lot of writing. So really in the next 5 years, I would like to make a push in that general area. But it's really, I'm just sort of trying to diversify at this point and see, you know, at the next crossroads, which path is most appropriate.
I honestly thought he was one of the best ones up there. He looked very natural.
You don't talk about it with your mother. Look at financial payment options. We will talk about whether we will take you with this a class at all. It's part of the way I behave normally.
Motivated by the pleasure of the struggle, Phil continues to persevere in his ongoing endeavors.
It's one of the most hidden treasures of the city right now. It's just, it's amazing. You know, getting to see people actually using their imagination in the rawest form is just, it's absolutely amazing.
Look, sir, all these roses laid out for you. Huh?
Whoa. That's not enough roses for me. I don't understand. This has been the Rose Company for 45 years, plus a decade or two, and it's never once had too few roses.
I'm constantly very thankful and aware of everything that's led to where I am now.
Taekwondo is one of the most demanding forms of martial arts. It requires a lifetime of training and is seen as a lifestyle by many of its followers. Common philosophy amongst Taekwondo masters is to always think about winning, but never let winning overcome you. The most important thing is how you deal with it.
Concentrate. When you attack once. Go against him. Kick. Hey, 1, 2. Jump. Turn your wrist.
How did you get into Taekwondo?
It started in May. I wasn't working at the time. I was off school, and I didn't really have anything else to do. And my friend Julio, he introduced me to Taekwondo. I came, I think it was on May 5th, and I started one class. I took a trial, and then I loved it ever since.
Have you ever been to a competition before, or will this be your first one?
This will be my first competition. I wasn't really sure if we're ready yet, because we concentrate a lot on doing techniques and mastering how to kick and the way to kick, but we never actually fought against anyone, so this will be our first tournament.
Alright, so you watched the fight. What did you think of how they fought?
I thought it was cool. I don't know a lot about Taekwondo, but it was cool. My friend fights, so I just go to all the Taekwondo tournaments, and this one's pretty big.
Do you enjoy watching fights? Or?
Yeah. My friend Rochelle, she fights. She's a black belt, and they're really cool to watch. So.
What do you think about the competition as a whole?
This one's a big one. There's a lot of competitors at this one. I've been to a couple of the Taekwondo tournaments, and this one's actually a pretty big one. A lot of people showed up.
Even though our competitors lost this weekend's competition, they now have the knowledge of how to win future competitions. they'll probably end up coming back here to Jump Fitness to train in Taekwondo and learn how to win. This has been Clay Holmes for CC News. Thank you and good night.
Well, I've had a blast tonight exploring the depths of Toronto's clubs, stages, and even a tournament.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you give us cameras.
Well, thanks for joining in, and don't forget to check out next semester's performances.
Good luck to all performers in this great city.
And to all the broadcasting students that try to film them.
This has been another episode of Performances with the Fall 2006 class.
Thanks for watching.